How's everybody doing? I thought I'd give a video update of what's been going on, and just in case anybody's interested in what I've been doing. I know I haven't posted a lot of videos last couple of months, but I want to give you an idea of the train wreck that is my garage. So I've got some plans for the Dakota, but before I do that I had to make sure I reorganized and set the garage up that would make it easier for me to start and finish some of the projects on the Dakota. But I'm going to give you a quick run through of what I've been doing in my garage. As you can see, I've got everything pulled out from the walls, and it is just a mess. It's so bad you can't even look away. It's horrible. First thing I've done is I bought some new lights. These are 4-bulb T8 light fixtures, and they were, I forget who makes these. Let's see. No, I got them at Home Depot. They're 40 bucks a piece, and I went with the T8 daylight bulbs, which really brightens up the garage, so it's going to make it easier to work out here at night, or with the door closed. So I figured, what the heck. And plus the two that I had hanging there, the ballast had gone out on both of them, so it was about that time. Now, I haven't cleaned up the wires. What I plan on doing after I get the garage situated and painted is these chains that you hook the light up to. I'm going to flush mount the light and hardwire the hardwire the cable with some Romex into the switch box in the attic. This is controlled by a switch in the laundry room, so when we flip it off, that power gets killed, and so does this one. Eventually what I'll do, as soon as I finish reworking this part, is come out here and probably buy 4 more lights, 2 behind these 2, and then 2 along here, 1 up here, and then 1 over there, to really shed some light when the garage door's down. Of course, when it's open, only these 2 lights will be visible, and these 2 front, but that should be plenty with the daylight coming in. Garage door will be down during the nighttime. But what I've been doing is, I used to have my workbench as a countertop that was attached to the toolbox, and I decided, I believe that was 6 feet of working space. I decided to go ahead and build this workbench, which is just at, this is actually about 11 feet, 11 and a half maybe, to this point right here, but all the way down is 12 feet. So I got about 11 and a half feet of working space, which is great. And I'm going to incorporate some ideas that I've been thinking about for, over the winter, for shelving and whatnot. But to give you an idea of what I did is, I took some 1,000-pound rated brackets and put 4 of them along here at different spots, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. I'm not going to be changing any engines on this, or transmissions or anything like that, so as long as it holds about 300, 400, 500 pounds, which it will, I'll be happy. But my main concern is with that toolbox, I wanted a spot here that I could slide the toolbox under, and then I'm going to get an identical toolbox, the Harbor Freight US General, and also have a spot to slide the second one under here, so that'll give me 2 toolboxes. And then, as you can see, I spaced it out so that 1 toolbox fits here, 1 fits there, and then over in this area right here, what I plan to do is sink my parts washing bin, which is way over there, into the top. I'm going to take it off its stands, then mount it into here, and disassemble the top, so I can take the top completely off, flip it over, and have it as kind of like a bin catcher, or a parts catcher or something like that, as I'm washing them and I need to set them to the side, I can just set them on top of the metal top and not have to worry about the wooden countertop. What I plan on doing for storage shed, or storage space, shelf space, sorry, is all of this along these walls is going to be completely taken down. There's not going to be anything on these walls. Instead, I'm going to have probably two, let me back up a little bit, probably two 9-inch deep shelves right there, maybe about maybe 24 inches long, 26 inches long maybe. No, it'll be a little bit longer than that. Well, let's measure real quick. I'm going to go from this board over to right where my garage door rail is. That's going to be, sorry for the shaky cam. It's going to be right at about 45 inches, maybe 44 inches. So I'll have two 9-inch deep shelves, and then about 45 inches long. And then when I come over here, that's underneath my rail here, I'm going to have one bracket that spans the entire, shelf that spans the entire length all the way down to the end. And that's what I'll set my big components on, like my router, circular saw, Dremel tool, tap and die, corded drill, drum brakes, all kinds, that type of stuff over on this shelf. And then these two shelves right here will be my commonly used stuff, like brake parts cleaner, dielectric grease, grease gun, you name it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about those shelves, how I'm going to do them. Originally, at least for these two shelves right here, I was going to use these brackets and mount it in such a way, probably right about there. And then you notice it has a hook on the end of running a dowel rod between all 3 or 4 of them, and then putting, you know, paper shop towels, paper towel roll on there, along with my wire rolls and what other ringed stuff that I have on there. But I've also thought about doing a yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I thought about doing a floating shelf so there weren't any brackets, because my original plan, let's see how this goes as soon as I finish building this workbench, is once I get this leveled and cut flush, I'm going to go ahead and take some, let's see, what is this stuff? Duplicolor bed armor, and coat the whole top around the sides, just to help us, you know, stuff not slipping and oil and crap not soaking into this, and generally see how it does. Now, of course, I'm not going to be doing any welding or any real hot or heat intensive builds on this workbench. Mainly, this is just going to be, yeah, well, we all know it's probably just going to be a crap collector, but what I plan on doing is just anything that I need to piece together, or if I tear down a carburetor or anything like that, I'll have a space to work on it. But my plans with this is, as soon as I coat this, I'm going to take some mahogany and do a miter cut on each corner, and just have like a faceplate, beauty plate to it. Lacquer that, so at least this front right here will be you know, presentable. Will at least look halfway nice, and when you come out to the garage, you're like, hey, you know, I built that. But you know, just something, you know, for make it a little different. But what I was thinking, back to the floating shelves, I could do the floating shelves the same way. Maybe make them 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches tall, and then have the same mahogany faceplate, you know, lacquered and whatnot. And I thought, of course, then I started getting really crazy and thinking about doing inlays into the mahogany of the Texas Star, stuff like that. But you know, at least it's something to keep me busy. keep my mind off of things, or if I get frustrated or whatnot and I have to work away from the Dakota, that'll be something I can work on. But my main priority is to get the workbench done, set my parts cleaner in. Once that's done, go ahead and get that bed lined. And back to this stuff. This is Dupla Colors bed armor. It's for truck beds. It gives you that kind of rubbery, scratch resistant type surface. I don't know how it's going to hold up to chemicals. There's nothing really that it says on the can about chemicals. It's a water-based polyurethane, so I'm guessing that lacquer thinner, mineral spirits and stuff like that will probably chew through it. But yeah, that's the beauty of having a workbench. If it doesn't work, you move on, you try something different. So, you know, worst case, it doesn't work, I pull up this plywood and go with a different idea. I thought about maybe 8, 10 or 12 gauge metal top, but everybody around here seems to think that metal is equivalent to gold and they want way too much for it. So I went with a 30, I think it was 25 or 30 bucks for that alternative to see how it does. We'll find out, but I'll do updates on that after I get all this built. But kind of wanted to give you an idea of where I was at, what I've been doing, if anybody's interested. So once I get all this cleaned up, and basically everything that's going to be that's in this cabinet right now will of course migrate over to the shelves and be placed in their position. I'll probably end up throwing, hopefully, 60 or 70% of this stuff away. That, you know, some of that stuff back over there I haven't touched in 10, 12 years. So, you know, most of that's definitely trash. Some of that's just junk collecting. Up there I have a couple of things that I use every day. Then of course once I get the second toolbox, I'll really be able to filter out and set up each drawer for each tool. That's basically it. You know, nothing too exciting. You know, once I get to that point and get all this cleared out, then I'm going to paint the garage and do an epoxy floor. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do epoxy or tile, or, you know, the rubber tiling and whatnot. But when I get to that point, I'll definitely keep you updated and bring you along, let you know what I'm doing, see how it turns out. But I definitely have my work cut out for me. I think this summer I'm going to try to build a small storage shed out in the back. Maybe, maybe 8 by 10. You know, just to store the scooter in there, the lawn equipment, all that fun stuff. But there I am with a half completed, 75%, 3/4 completed workbench. I've got to finish framing that out for the parts cleaner and put my plywood over it. And then I'm going to take the router over there and, you know, with a flush bit kit that I got from Harbor Freight, along with the router. I'm going to use the flush trimming bit right there, if you can see it, yeah. And you know, trim this out. Of course, I'll pull the plywood forward, but you can just kind of give it a more professional look. I don't know, something to do as I procrastinate on finishing this part out and all that stuff. But anyways, there you go. Just wanted to give you an update for anybody out there that's wondering what's going on. Some other things I plan on doing once I get this finished is taking out this water heater and going a tankless route. I'll mount the tankless unit up there, take this water heater out and the stand down there, you can barely see it, and then moving this freezer all the way over flush to the wall. And that'll free up some space where I can get a bigger compressor, because one of my plans with the Dakota is to actually repaint it inside the garage, so I'll need a compressor that has the capacity and CFM for that. That'll be a whole other video or series of videos as I do that, you know, priming and sanding and body work and then painting, not specifically in that order, but it'll be interesting. First time doing it. There you go, guys. Hope this video wasn't too much of a ramble. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. Oh, give you some specs on the workbench, just in case anybody out there is thinking about doing it. or doing a workbench, the depth of the countertop, or the top, is just at about 20, yeah, just at about 26 inches, and the height, I believe, was 46. No, just at about 44 inches. I'm 5'11". Sorry for that. 5'11", and it comes right up to. So let me get you a shot here. Comes right up to just about my gut. So not too bad. Gives me, pretty good. Let's see if I can get it on there. Pretty good angle for my arm. To where this is resting, and it's I'm almost 90 degrees, so it's comfortable. And that was the height that I decided to do. One, to make sure the toolbox fit under there, and I could get 2 of them in there, and I didn't have to worry about going with a smaller caster. Those are 5-inch casters, so that raises it a good 3 inches, 3¼ inches off the ground. Wait, sorry, about 5 inches off the ground. Holy crap. Alright, so that makes the total height of this about, I think, 41.5. No, it makes it about 39 inches, at the highest point. About 39.5. And my lowest point is about 40 inches on the workbench. So it gives me some wiggle room there to move it in and out. But that was my primary concern. Being able to slide the workbench under there. Being able to pull them out. Once I have 2 of them in here, what I'll be able to do is keep this one in here and move it out if I need to. But definitely move the second one out to where the drawers are facing me, and then have a work stool here, and then be able to do any electronics or whatever I need to do, and then be able to access tools and whatnot without having to permanently station the toolboxes right here. It also lends itself to, with 2 toolboxes, I could pull them both out, set them back to back, or space them out and have a work area. Back to back would be a nice work area for working on a lawnmower, or when I do paint the Dakota, painting fender flares, stuff like that, having something to prop it up on there, engine parts and whatnot. But alright, this video's gotten pretty long. If you stuck with me this far, thank you. But that's where I'm at. If you have any questions, post them down in the comments below, or better yet, send me a private message. For some reason, YouTube has been jacking up, and I don't get any alerts when there is a comment posted. So if you posted comments and I haven't responded to them, I apologize for that. Best way to get a hold of me is just send me a private message, and I can usually respond to you pretty quickly. Anyways, guys, I hope you're having a good week, and I will catch up with you here in a bit. I'll try to finish this off, and when I do, I'll make another video. Alright, talk to you guys later. Alright, I'm back. Finally got all the screws in, and the 3/4 inch plywood in place. And excuse me, the first router bit that I had, this guy right here for trim flushing or trimming, was too short. So we would basically get in the middle and just chip away at the middle. So I ran up to the store and bought, well, I can't get to it. I put the package in here because I'll keep the bit in here with it. This Diablo bit, which was 1.5 inches wide. The cutting portion of it was 1 inch, and that did the trick. Once I put that on there, it chewed right through that. It made, yeah, it's probably going to blow it out, but made a somewhat straight edge, or flush edge, which is good, which is what I wanted, because the baseboard that I'll eventually do in mahogany will be able to butt up nicely. So basically what I'm going to do now is sand this entire top and the sides and get it prepped for this duplicolor armor, bed armor. See how that goes on here. I still haven't decided on these shelves. I'm still thinking if I should try a floating shelf, since it would look kind of neat, or just go with the traditional brackets and use my dowel rod idea. This shelf will stay the same. I'll definitely have those 400 or 500 pound brackets holding that up, since it's going to have a lot of weight on it. But there you go, just wanted to give you an update. One thing I had to do was this piece. This is one long 8-foot piece, and then I had to cut and trim this 4-foot piece, 3-foot piece. This portion right here did not come over this 2x4, so what I ended up having to do was scab another 2x4 inside of there. Cut it so it was a real snug fit, and I had to hammer it up in there and secured it to this 2x4 with a couple of 3-inch screws, wood screws, and that made this somewhat flush. I'll get the rest of this with sanding. But before, it was bowing down a good 1/8 of an inch. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to get this screw out, because I didn't quite hit the 2x4. And that's because there's this gap back here. What I plan on doing is running a 2x4, 12-foot long one, down the entire length, and having that as my backsplash. That may change. I may go with some kind of galvanized flashing or something like that, but for now that's what I've got, and I'll turn you back on when I've got some more progress. Okay, well, finished sanding the pieces. Even put my 2x4 by 12 feet, sorry, as my backsplash. But yeah, the sanding's all done. I'll blow it off and probably wipe it down. One thing that I was really happy that turned out nice was I had on this edge I had a little bit of a hump where this board that attached here stuck out a little bit more, so I was able to sand that down and get it pretty close to square. But it's to the eye, it's kind of hard to tell, but at least I'm happy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this area over here. You see the 12-foot board there goes across. Originally I was going to bring this out, to like right here, but then I started thinking about maintenance on the door track, and just getting to these bolts over here would have been a nightmare down there. So I left it like this. Kind of worked out. Put my jack, or my hydraulic jack, right there. Kind of slides in. A trash can. Probably what I'll end up doing is putting my oil catch cans down there. Maybe getting some 12 gauge steel or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to sleep on it. But there's the backsplash. And that is going to be covered in bed liner also. So the backsplash, the top, Of course, you know, the sides, and then this side will get a mahogany or walnut finish face piece. So you'll have the black top coming to this edge, and then the face piece coming across the fronts and the sides and over there on that side. My wife said, "Are you making a bench or a dinner table?" I told her, yeah, I just want it to be nice, something to come out and you smile. But anyways, sanding came out really good. This came out flat. Happy with that. I'm going to sleep on this backsplash. I don't know. I think the 2x4 is too thick. Maybe I should have gone with a 1x4 by 12, or I don't know. I want to think about it, see what comes to mind. But this surprised me. I was able to pull this off. I didn't think I'd be able to, but notching that out. Little low, but you know, not bad for my first time. I took a circular saw, went back and forth that I've seen people do on table saws. I just clamped this piece down and carefully went back and forth until I had thin enough wafers that I could break them out, and then I just chiseled this flat. So there you go. I thought I'd give you an update for tonight. I'm going to call it quits, go in and get something to eat, and sleep on this backsplash, and come back out tomorrow. And depending on what I do with the backsplash, if I keep it, I'm going to go ahead and do the sand the backsplash down. Right now it's not attached to anything, so I can just pull it off, sand it, and then I'll lag bolt it to the wall in each place that this backboard, that is the back support for the bench, is lag bolted into the 2x4s, just to make sure the backsplash is sturdy. And then I will, once that's sanded and lag bolted, then I'll be able to put the bed liner on. I'll probably, I'll probably keep it. It'd be nice to have something, you know, kind of thick that's going to take some dings and whatnot, because I'm going to inevitably be putting pans or, you know, brake rotors up here, and, you know, 1x2 or 1x4 or 2, 1x4 might crack or start to split, but I don't know, I'll think about it. And then after I bedline that, let it set for 24 hours. It's supposedly low odor with Kevlar, or I don't know, we'll find out. I'll let it set for 24 hours with the door cracked. Of course, I'll have it open when I roll it on there, but I'll keep it cracked overnight. There you go, guys. I'll keep you updated. I'll make sure I make a video each step of my progress and get y'all's input and see what you think. If you don't like it, say, nah, it sucks. So constructive or constructive criticism. There you go. Anyways, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm going to shut this off and upload the video. I'll talk to y'all later.